Okay, we'll move on to item number 4. City Attorney Colin McCullough to address the City Council concerning agreement with Clayton Energy. Colin?
Good evening.
Good evening.
Let me preface my remarks by saying the idea of having a co-op to buy natural gas is an idea that I like. But as they say, the devil's in the details, and I just cannot in any way, shape, or form recommend this document to you. Where to start? For an example, the controlling entity contains approximately 5 communities who have the ultimate voting power. It does not provide, under any circumstances, where anyone from the city can or ever would be a member of that voting board. And then to segue that into the, to me, overbroad powers of the agreement. It says this in Article 21, no officer, director, official, contractor, agent, or employee, past, present, or future, shall be personally liable for anything they do. Well, that's enough for me. But then it goes on for an example, to build buildings, to have the right of eminent domain. If we're buying gas, what do we need eminent domain for? What do we need a building for? And then when you tie that back with the fact that a town, one of these 5 towns that's the original instigators of this, has a building that's for sale, nobody else will buy, and they go to buy it, you don't even have a vote, you get to go out pay for it. And I know it's been said to you on prior occasions that you can get out of this at any time. That's not true. You can get out of this agreement under Article 17. Any member may withdraw, provided, however, no such withdrawal shall be permitted if it would result in the dissolution of the agency, or for so long as special obligations remain outstanding. So what they're proposing to do is issue bonds. The term of those bonds up to 60 years. And therefore you would be bound. So then the question becomes, well, why can't we get out? It says this, no member shall be permitted to withdraw at any time when special obligations are outstanding, unless the member pays for payment of its pro rata share of any of the principal and interest coming due from special obligations then outstanding. Well, and that really says it all. Why are they issuing special obligation bonds? For an example, if the city of Sac City knows and budgets for, and I'll just use a number, $500,000 for gas for the sale and consumption by its residents, we don't issue a bond for that. What are they issuing bonds for? I.e., these buildings, these other things that have nothing to do with a cooperative. And I've spoken on several occasions with an attorney out of Des Moines about these, and basically the other communities have said take it or leave it. And my recommendation to you is leave it. It does not achieve what it was represented to be. It's like you're buying a Chevrolet and you ended up with a Rolls Royce with no engine, but somebody else telling you whether it's running or not. I'll take questions.
Are there any changes, that could be made that would make it acceptable in your eyes?
I've said, why can't we have a member on board? Answer, we don't want to do that now. Maybe down the road. Well,
we were told when he was here, though, that we would be able to have a member on board.
That's what I thought he said too. He may say it, but that's not what this agreement says.
And also, I believe that the 60-year term, he told us it was a 30-year.
Well, get some of what he's smoking. It's 60 years, right? And I'd be happy to. Article 11. This agreement shall become effective upon execution and approval of the initial members and when filed as required by law, and shall continue in full force and effect for a period of 60 years from that date.
Did we council previously agree to do this? Can we get out of that without any problems? Or?
Here's what's been explained to me. Number one, I did not see this agreement before it was signed. It was presented to me after. And it's been represented to me both by Mr. Piggenshoe as well as the attorney for this entity that there would be forthcoming a letter saying you're out. I haven't seen it, but it's been represented to me. And assuming the council...
We were told that once we made a decision, once the new council made a decision, that we could actually decline and he would remove us at that point in time from the program because he has the paperwork filled out, but he would not submit it until we elected to vote on it.
That would, to me, is the most important thing, assuming that you accept my recommendations, is we rejected it and now we want it in writing, we're out. End of story. The whole idea and the concept of several communities joining together in purchasing power to buy gas is great. But then, some of the things I pointed out here, why do you need eminent domain? Why do you need a building? Why do you need a contract for 60 years? Why are you issuing special obligation bonds? And those are all things that, to me, are just beyond the scope of what a good co-op purchasing agreement should be.
Has anybody spoken to any of the counties currently in that 2080?
I have spoken to the city attorney, Mr. Brown up in Emmitsburg. He wasn't even aware that the city signed it.
And I think we were led to believe that our legal counsel looked at it before it was signed. Correct. That was not true.
I would move we take Colin's advice and I don't know how we're going to word it, to send a letter to rescind our past actions and don't want in.
I would, one comment, we have not actually entered into anything other than this one agreement. There are other documents that need to be signed, and I think what we should do, and I'll be happy to draft a letter for you tomorrow, is based upon your representations that we can get out. Notice is hereby given and we are out.
Okay. That's the motion I would move, Sandy.
Can I have some further discussion? You know, the savings has been told us to be approximately like 50 or 60,000. Is that?
Yep.
I would like, if there's any possible way we could, save this and yet do it, but yet on the other hand, I can sure, appreciate your comments, with that. In your estimation, is there any way that we could?
I've tried, Bill. I have been on the phone at least 4 different times with council saying, I would only recommend this to the city of Sac City if we had a voting member who participated in the decision-making process. He says, if we took it back to the original board, they're not willing to. I said, I don't think you need eminent domain or buying buildings. While you may say we can get out at any time, that's not what it says in these documents. And I'd like to clarify. His answer was, they have said it stands as it is.
Bill, I did some quick math and figured $60,000 worth of savings. We have about 1,100 residential users. That's $4 a month. I don't think we need to risk cities' liability for $4.
I think that I'm sure there are other purchasing, just like RECs out there, that limit the scope and nature of what they're doing. And again, I'm all in favor of tax savings to our taxpayers and rate savings to our residents, but this goes way beyond anything I can recommend, and I have tried. They even promised a conference call with one of the bonding attorneys from San Francisco, and after being stood up 4 times, the final message was, well, he's too busy.
I think that should be our reply.
Jim made a motion.
Brian.
Call for a vote. The motion has been made and seconded that we dissolve this agreement and that Colin will write a letter pertaining to that. Call for a vote, please.
Councilman Hanson,
Yes.
Johnston,
Yes.
Muska,
Yes.
Redden,
I'll abstain.
Frederick.
Yes.
Thank you, Colin.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it very much. Appreciate your time.
I'll have a letter down here tomorrow for your review.
Thank you.